Support is different for everyone. Therefore, there are a variety of support options available. These may be face-to-face, individual, group, or over the telephone. Sometimes family and friends prefer to use one service and others prefer to engage in multiple services. There is no right or wrong, only what works best for you.
Once I joined the Smart Recovery Family and Friends group, and from there I realised I was able to get my own counselling services through them, which you don't realise that that's available, but looking back on it, I absolutely was at risk. I didn't have a very wide circle of people who knew my situation or the situation that we were in. It wasn't until I started the group that I kind of heard other people mention services that they'd found. It's purely people just digging and trying to find something that they think might be helpful.
I went to a number of Al-Anon meetings. I also started to do a lot of self-improvement, so reading self-help books and stuff like that. And part of that was not my loved one's issue. It was just more of my own growth as I was going along in my own journey. But those things helped a great deal. Those people in particular were very good helping me to understand this was not my fault. I also found family drug support. They had helped me a lot to look at myself. What happened in all that self-development work helped me to really look at the problem in a completely different way and be able to actually build a different kind of relationships. It doesn't solve the problem, but it actually really builds a much better connection. This is what helps the changes. The whole journey was extreme trial and error, and continuously I learned little things. I tried little things, sometimes they work, then they didn't. Sometimes I didn't give them enough time, so I needed to go back and try those again. Would have to practice things.
I found out about Stride. I get emails from them telling me what they've got on offer, like what courses and things they're doing. I do go along to the ones that concern me. I go to a carer's coffee morning, and it was purely focused on the carer and learning to look after yourself. And I think that they're very aware of how much stress mental illnesses puts on carers, how it affects your life, and coming to terms with it, just through chatting and everything. I came to learn that a lot of people have got problems like mine. And just to have a morning out where you are with people who understand your problems and there is no judgment.
Getting to a point where I felt like these people are not running away, they're not disparaging, they're not blaming, they're actually just listening and facilitating me finding some direction in my sort of sustained panic. The fact that there was a sort of onward referral mechanism I really found useful. I mean, that I wasn't feeling like my back was against the wall, that sense of the possibility of some forward movement, it was really helpful. It was a sense of that sort of wraparound of possible service provision that I felt was useful. Yeah, that there wasn't, well, we weren't all working in a vacuum, that we're working in a sort of parallel universes that were all heading in the same sort of direction without interfering with each other, which felt good. I didn't have this sort of feeling like what I was going through was a big enough problem.
Through family drug support and through things like this, I'm learning now not to feel responsible for my loved one. And I think that's been a big thing, and it's been a hard process. There's a lot of information online, as you know, with Alcohol and Drug Information Service New South Wales and other alcohol and drug groups. There's lots and lots of information online, and you get overwhelmed with that information, and parents need to know, carers need to know that they can't do it all themselves. We're a lighthouse. We are not going to jump in and rescue them all of the time. We've got to stand by the shore and be a light and stay firm.
It's not just the person And they really advocate for their clients to really link in with family and pull those protective factors and really utilise those in your recovery journey. And that's what I really loved, because I think everywhere else kind of just honed in on that one problem, which is good, because sometimes you just need to really direct all your energy into that one thing. But I really like that holistic approach, and I really, really think it's helpful. They had a lot of resources and a lot of services to offer, which is what you need, because sometimes you just feel like you're in such a rut, I guess.